Okay, so this is the rational equations level 1. And I'm going to write it over here. Well, basically, the first thing we're going to do, let me write the equation down. Minus 7 over x plus 7 plus 6 equals x over x plus 7. So we're going to multiply everything by x plus 7. I'm trying to see if I can make this pen smaller, but I guess I can't. Okay, so this is my common denominator there. So I'm going to multiply everything by x plus 7, and I mean each term, x plus 7. So those cancel out and those cancel out. So I end up with a minus 7 plus 6 times x plus 7, and that's equal to x. Let me go ahead and multiply this out using the distributive property. So minus 7 plus 6 times x is 6x. 6 times 7 is 42, and of course my sign is plus, and that equals x. So let me combine the minus 7 and the plus 42. So that's 42 minus 7, 35. So 6x plus 35 equals x. Now I'm going to subtract x from each side, and I get 5x. 6x minus 1x is 5x plus 35 equals 0. And then I'm going to subtract 35 from each side. I'm doing algebra now. And 5x equals minus 35. And then divide both sides by 5, and x is equal to minus 7. I know that's a good solution. No, that's a no solution, because it can't be equal to minus 7, because if x was equal to minus 7, it would make my denominator 0 in my original equation. So let me check my solution. That's an extraneous root. So yeah, I was correct. So question. So I think you hit that one. Yeah, that minus over there. So that was a no solution. I was just about to put that minus 7 in there. So make sure you always check those. So like this one, we can check before we even get started. We know if we get a minus 4, because minus 4 plus 4 is 0, that will be an extraneous solution. So think about, I don't know what that did. That did something, but that's not right. Okay, so let's look, we just did that. Let's look at this one. This is x minus 8. So we know if we get a positive 8 as our solution, it's going to be extraneous. So we're going to multiply everything by x minus 8. Don't know why I put a plus. So everything by x minus 8. That's each term times x minus 8. And don't forget that little minus sign right there. I'm putting that for myself. That cancels out. Those cancel out. So I have x, because that's all I have left here, plus 3 times x minus 8 equals negative 4. Because I put my arrow there so I wouldn't forget that minus, because that canceled out. So x plus distributive property, 3 times x, 3 times a negative 8 is a negative 24, equals a negative 4. So I can combine these. 1x plus 3x is 4x minus 24 equals minus 4. And then I'm going to add 24 to each side. 4x equals negative 4 plus 24 is 20. And I divide both sides by 4. X is equal to 5. So it's not extraneous because it's not a positive 8. Okay. So that's level 1. Let's go to level 2. That's pretty much the same. Look at that first. So we can't get a minus 2, because minus 2 plus 2 would make that denominator 0. So I'm just going to keep that over here. So I know if I get that, that's going to be wrong. So I'm going to multiply everything by this denominator, which is common to everything. So that's x plus 2, x plus 2, x plus 2. Cancel out, cancel out. So I get x plus 2 times x times x plus 2, minus 2 equals x. So it looks like I'm going to have to factor here. So x times x and x times 2. So x squared. X times positive 2 is 2x minus 2 equals x. Now I'm going to subtract x from each side, and notice I put it under the one that had the same base and the same exponent. That goes to 0. So x squared, 2x minus x is 1x minus 2 equals 0. Now we can factor this, I think, x and x, and something that'll give me a negative 2, multiply to negative 2, but add up to 1. So I'm going to make this positive, negative, plus 2 times negative 1. And remember, you just do it like that. And then, so you know it's 2 times a negative 1, because that will give me a negative 2. And if I add them together, it'll give me a positive 1. If I set both of these equal to 0, x equals negative 2, and x equals 1. Now let's look at our solutions. We already said we couldn't have a negative 2, because that would make that denominator 0. So that's extraneous. Okay, something crazy with me.